I'm sure you've seen it before. You're watching poker on TV and you see a top pro holding a big hand like a set or a full house, and you watch them get bluffed by an amateur holding nothing. And you scream at the TV, "How can you fold that hand?" Well, what the pros know is a very advanced concept in No Limit Hold'em. And that concept is, in No Limit Hold'em, even very good hands can become nothing but bluff catchers by the time you get to the river. Most people, when they make a big bet on the river, either have nothing at all or they have a very, very strong hand, maybe even the nuts. So the strength of your hand doesn't really matter that much by the time you get to the river. What you have to decide is whether they are bluffing or whether they're telling the truth. And let's take an example of that. This was a hand I saw at the 2006 World Series of Poker. A top pro had ace-8 of clubs in this case, and as you can see, he made a raise with it, and the big blind called, and, well, he flops about the best flop you could hope for here. He flopped the nut flush, and he went ahead and bet it, as you can see, and he got called, and then an inconsequential card came on the turn, and he still has the nuts at this point, and he made another bet, and he got check raised. Well, I would have gone ahead and re-raised again here, but maybe he had a particular read on his opponent, and he went ahead and he just called, and I guess he was figuring he could probably sucker the guy out of another bet on the river, but unfortunately for him, the board paired on the river, and it also came another club, and his opponent went all in at this point. Well, this put him in a very difficult position, and he had to decide whether this guy was telling the truth or not. In the end, he ended up folding, and we'll never know whether he got bluffed or not, but I suspect he did not get bluffed. I believe that the check raise on the turn indicated that his opponent probably flopped a set on him. It'd be very likely that he would have called the pre-flop raise with, let's say, a pair of nines, for example, and then he filled up on the river, made the full house, and bet all his money with it. So I think this was a very good laydown. This pro understood this concept that even a very good hand, a very strong hand, like the nut flush here, became nothing but a bluff catcher on the river. So just remember this. Big hands win big pots. And it takes a really big hand to win a really big pot. So by the river, if the pot is really big, your opponent either has a really big hand or is on a stone cold bluff. You've got to decide which one it is. But don't worry too much about the strength of your hand if it is strong or medium strong, because that's not really important. If they're bluffing, you probably have them beat and you should call them. But if they're not bluffing, they probably have the nuts, and even your strong hand is not going to be good enough. Okay, thanks for watching this video. Please visit testyourpoker.com to get your free Poker IQ score and to watch our other videos.